Hello, I'm Fleet Captain Stephen Stott, First Officer of the USS Ronald E. McNair out of Region 1 in Columbia, South Carolina. I'm talking to you today because I want to introduce myself to you. I'm part of Team Parmalee Stott, running for Commander and Vice Commander of Starfleet. I'm running for Vice Commander, and my partner, Stephen Parmalee, is running for Commander of Starfleet. You've probably already seen, perhaps, a couple of the podcasts that he's shown. The reason we're doing these podcasts is to provide you, the members in Starfleet, a personal look, if you will, of the vision and views from Stephen and I in terms of what we want to do as leadership in Starfleet, and providing you, the member, the best administrative and logistical and leadership capabilities that Starfleet can bear for you at the individual chapter level, so that you're able to do what you want to do. One aspect of that that's very important to our team is that you are able to have fun. And having fun means that at the leadership levels, we're making sure that all the administration is taken care of and freeing you up to focus on those type of areas. One of the things that's very important to us on Team Parmalee Stott is that you as the member are the primary reason that we exist. We are enablers at our level. And this is a club, and the club is supposed to be about fun and fellowship. So to that end, I want to first discuss that one of the top priorities that we have at Team Parmalee Stott is talking about making sure that each one of you are treated fairly, with respect, and with honor as a member of this club. After all, the vision that our club is about is that of Gene Roddenberry. If you remember, in Star Trek, we have something called the IDIC, Infinite Diversities and Infinite Combinations. That means that all people, regardless of race, creed, color, or in Star Trek's realm, species, are all treated equally and fairly, and that we as individuals respect the rights and privileges of others automatically, without question. That's the ideals that we at Team Parmalee Stott want to infuse and maintain within Starfleet, the International Fan Club. So that's going to be a major focus of ours. Our job as the Commander and Vice Commander of Starfleet, along with our great staff, is to be an open ear to you, the member, about trying to make Starfleet better as we move along and we enjoy each other in this club. We have a myriad of different areas that we're looking into and want to change, and that includes things such as, for example, revising maybe some of the bylaws that we currently have in Starfleet to focus on some of the problems or issues that may be apparent that the current bylaws cannot address. Another area that we want to look into at the Starfleet level, and we're already working on this, is recognition of our fallen. We know at the local level, if you lose a member in Starfleet, a member of your club, that person's a friend or maybe a family member, and you have a lot of care and concern. Well, we at Starfleet level also have that concern, because after all, we don't exist without you, the member. So Steve Parmalee has an idea of wanting to get with our leadership here and making sure that we recognize all those members of Starfleet from the member level on up that have lost their lives, and we want to show you that we care and have sympathy for that as well. So we're going to be doing some things in relation to that to make sure that we recognize them and recognize you for recognizing their loss. Another key area of concern that we have within Starfleet is the ability for you as the individual member to communicate to us at the highest level if there's areas of concern. Now keep in mind, Starfleet as an organization has a structure or a chain of command, if you will, going down from the executive committee, the admiralty board, all the way through the regions down to the individual captains. In no way do Steve and I want to impose or change that structure. That structure is there for a reason, and it works very well. But what we do want to do is be a help and an enabler of that system. And that means that our ears and eyes need to be attuned to what's going on throughout the fleet at all those different levels. So that means we want you as the member, if there's an issue or a problem, to be able to communicate up through the highest levels of fleet to address what the concerns are. Now, if they're basic issues such as trying to get your name in the database or getting renewal problems, we have systems in place to handle that. It's just our job as the commander and vice commander of Starfleet to get engaged and involved to make sure that those processes are working smoothly. To that end, we've recruited a staff that is, in our opinion, par excellence in dedicated in making those things happen. Some of those members are already hardworking members at the fleet level. Others are new people that are motivated and want to get involved and engaged. And to that end, Team Stott is dedicated to that. One other thing I'd like to discuss at this point in time is respect for others. And that is a big concern that Steve and I have throughout the fleet. One of the things you may have heard that Steve Parmley has talked about in his podcast and also in his overall vision message is that he has heard from the field concerns from individual members about not being treated with respect, that there may be those officers within Starfleet that use their rank or privilege to kind of usurp themselves over the individual members. And that has, in some cases, driven a lot of membership, even ships, to leave Starfleet because of the bad perceptions. Let it be known now that Steve and I are very concerned about the respect for all Starfleet members, and one of our paramount, if you would call it a general order issue, is that fun and respect are the top order of the day, and that we would not and will not tolerate any of that type of behavior within the fleet. And you have my promise that if issues like that pop up, we will take it very seriously and do whatever we can in working with Starfleet leadership to, depress those issues, solve those problems, and keep things running as smoothly as we can. But that begins with having the utmost respect for each one of us as members, and our having respect for you as a member, and understanding that everyone's voice counts as it relates to making sure that the fleet runs as smoothly as possible and as comfortably as possible between the members. That's a key issue. Well, right now, those are the key things I wanted to do. I just wanted to take a moment to talk about those issues. To close out, just to tell you a little bit about myself, I've been in Starfleet for 21 years. I've been a former second officer. I was also commander of the USS Ronald E. McNair. At fleet level, I served with Starfleet operations in the before issued Armed Services Program. I served as the Army Liaison Officer. On the civilian side of life, I'm a retired Army Sergeant Major. My last position that I held was I was the Chaplain Corps Regimental Sergeant Major. I was the head chaplain assistant for the Army. I served in the Army for about just over 34 years, and for over 30 years in the military, I served in non-commissioned officer positions as a leader. So to that end, I bring those strengths and experience with me in the fleet not only working within the fleet positions, but also my military experience has helped me to understand and dealing with people, learning and understanding people, and particularly in my role as a chaplain assistant. I'm dealing about caring and helping people for all those years, and I hope to bring that expertise to Team Parmley Stott as we work to serve you here in Starfleet. I really love it. I love Star Trek. I've loved Star Trek ever since September 8, 1966, when my mother, bless her soul, sat me down to watch it for the very first time. From the first episode, I've always been in love with Star Trek. I love all Trek, from the beginning series all the way through to the current films that are being showed from the Kelvin universe episode. I love them just as much as the other Star Trek. But to that end, I enjoy working and serving in Starfleet. I love my crew on the McNair, and I love the crew in Region, or the different crews in Region 1, and I'm looking forward to serving at the fleet level should you decide to vote for Team Parmley Stott and us doing the best we can. With all that being said, you'll hear from me later in the podcast with more details. But just remember that Team Parmley Stott is about members first. And that means each and every one of you. And we're looking forward to engaging with you, answering your questions, and hopefully you voting for us so that we can do the best we can to make this the best fan club in the world par excellence. This is Stephen Stott signing off. Live long and prosper.